Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are driving at night. I'm towing my fifth wheel. If you haven't had a chance yet, go back and watch the last video that I posted, so you have a better idea of how much weight I'm towing in this video. But I wanted to talk to you guys about gas versus diesel. Like, this seems to be a conversation I've had a few times at campgrounds, and a few people have been asking me on YouTube also what my thoughts were. Now, we do travel full-time. We met a guy, Ryan. Be sure to check out his channel. He actually had a Ford F-350 with a gas engine, and he has really good perspective too on why he chose a gas truck over diesel. So what works for him may not work for other people, and vice versa. So one benefit that the diesel has over the gas, and this is just something that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, because it's very rare that people do what I do. So I'm going to talk about my experience. So this is something that I found that works for me. But one thing that I've noticed about diesel engines is they don't really notice weight. And what I mean by that is, we have a 40-foot fifth wheel, it's a Keystone Cougar, and the gross fuel weight rating's only 13,980 pounds. So when we got the trailer, it weighed about 11,570 pounds, somewhere in there, unloaded. So once you add your propane, once you add your batteries, all that good stuff, the weight does go up from that, because it's not included in those weights. But one thing I've been doing, and I started doing this probably about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, pretty much when COVID started, I started traveling with fresh water. Now, before we lived full-time in our RV, I never used to do that. And I always never enjoyed like towing our fifth wheel, because I felt like any wind, any truck that would go by, I felt like it would make the trailer kind of sway back and forth. Now, you can't feel that weight shift from the trailer in my 3500. I did notice it a little bit more on my 2500, because it squatted a little bit more than this truck did. And that's even with actually more weight on the trailer now. I feel like with the Reese Goose box that I have, that's probably a downfall from that. And stay tuned, I promise I am going to do a video on the Reese Goose box. I'm going to put it on my list to do soon, okay? Stay tuned for that. But when we first got our RV, we were weekend warriors, so we didn't have a lot of stuff in it. So we were probably just at 12,000 pounds, give or take. And again, like, we do have the Road Armor suspension on our fifth wheel. It came standard on the trailer. And the Reese Goose box does help with that too, because it has shock absorbers and other features on there that help it to absorb shock going down the road and to reduce like bucking and chucking and stuff like that. But of course, that's not going to really affect the way the trailer handles going down the road when it's swaying, right? So one thing I've learned was, when we started full-time in our RV, we were traveling, I filled up our 81-gallon freshwater tank for the first time, and we were going to use it just to go to the campground, because I never had a chance to really use it when it was full. So I wanted to see how long we could go on fresh water. Well, for some reason I forgot that I filled up the tank, and we never used the water, so the water sat in there for a long time. And I remember when we were leaving the campground and we were traveling, I noticed that the trailer was a lot more planted going down the road. So that's kind of what I wanted to discuss in this video. Was, with a diesel engine, 81 gallons of water is pretty heavy. I don't know what that transpires to in weight, but I'll put it here in the video. But 81 gallons of water is probably 500, 600, maybe 700 pounds of weight. If you have a gas truck, this is something that you have to consider, because if you do want more comfort, I do find that having extra weight on the trailer does help it to track better going down the road. Now, depending on what tires you use, depending on upgrades that you do to the overall trailer, that could help you too. So just keep that in mind. So when we got to the campsite, I did go back and just make sure. I wanted to see if there was still water in the freshwater tank, and I found that it was completely filled. So I actually dumped all the water out. And as we were camping there, I wanted to, basically remember to look at how my trailer was doing going down the road when we left there. So I emptied it out completely, and when we finally left that campground, I did notice that the trailer was kind of swaying left and right a little bit more so than when it was when that tank was full. Now, everyone's RV is different, so you have to do your research. Now, some RVs, like if you think about toy haulers, because they have the garage in the back, sometimes that freshwater tank may be up front. So this may not help you. I think that because my freshwater tank is all the way in the back of my RV, like my dump area for the freshwater is all the way in the back. So my freshwater tank is right there. So all that weight is on the back of my trailer. Now, if you do have a freshwater tank in the center, like where your axles of your trailer are, that might actually benefit you too. I just think having more weight on those axles on the trailer, I don't know, they just help the trailer to track better going down the road. So one of the things I wanted to check was, did my fuel economy change? Now I'm going to change camera views here so you guys can kind of see where I am right now with my fuel economy. So we just got fuel probably about 40 minutes ago. We went to a Love's fuel station, and I gotta hit my brakes here. It looks like I think we just crossed over to a new state. So there you go. But yeah, we're at 43.9, 44 miles and 39 minutes traveling. I've been doing about 72 miles an hour. I mean, traffic just kind of got a little heavy here, but I think it's because of this rest area here. People are probably trying to get over. So yeah, right now I'm at 10.1 mpgs, and I'm gonna let you guys just kind of view my instant fuel economy here. Yeah, it looks like there's more. Alright guys, I'm gonna put the camera down for a second because we're getting into some heavy traffic here. Alright, traffic has gotten a lot better. So let me just show you guys the current here. So I'm about to go up a little bit of an incline right now, but I'm not using cruise control right now. So let me just set the cruise control so you can have a better picture of this. Okay, we're gonna go down a little bit of an incline here. So it'll go up a little bit, but it will probably average out about 10 to probably 11 mpg. I mean, that's one thing I like about diesel engines is, you know, they do run higher compression. Diesel is a lot more efficient fuel, and yeah, even though I have a full tank of, you know, fresh water back there, my truck did not notice a difference in that freshwater tank being filled up. Now, if you have a gas truck, doing about 1,000 pounds more weight is going to probably be affected, you know, in your fuel economy. You're going to probably run higher RPMs, and yeah, I mean, it's going to affect your overall performance of your truck. So having a diesel engine, this is probably one of the biggest benefits. Now let's take a look at some of my temperatures. So here's my tire pressure, and then here are my temperatures. So coolant is at 192, which is basically normal spec unloaded. My transmission doesn't even notice I have a trailer back there. So this is the king of the, you know, transmission world because it runs really low temperatures. I will say the Allison 10-speed runs about the same, about 167 to about 170. And my oil temp is a little bit higher than what it would be unloaded, but pretty much within spec. It's probably only like maybe 7 degrees higher than what it would normally be at. I'm running a full exhaust brake, and I'm not running in tow haul mode because for some reason my truck is like locking out 6th gear. So I mean, I'm not gonna let that happen. So here's just a last look at my current fuel economy. I hope you guys can see that's like right there. But yeah, I'm running about 9 to about 11 mpgs right now. So at 72 miles an hour, it's 70 degrees outside. And yeah, I mean, this is just a good, you know, truck to have if you are considering a diesel or gas. So just to recap, when I did fill my freshwater tank versus it being empty, I did not notice any difference in my fuel economy. And again, if you have a gas truck, this is something that you're going to probably run into. 800 pounds of weight is going to probably definitely show up on your MPG. So that's just something to consider there. And yeah, I mean, I think that the diesel, even though, you know, with all the emission stuff on here, it's still a really good option to have. So if you've been wondering about whether you should get a diesel or gas, I think this is a good deciding factor if you want to add a little bit of extra weight to your trailer. that's going to probably help the track going down the road better. And yeah, just do some research. Make sure you figure out where that freshwater tank is. If it's in the front, I don't know if that would help you, because obviously it's going to add pin weight to your truck. So I probably would consider not doing this. But if your freshwater tank is like located where mine is, then it might actually benefit you guys. So like I said, I think that this has really been a better experience for me when I'm towing this trailer. And I've probably towed it now about 14,000 pounds between my 2,500 and my 3,500 now. So yeah, I definitely can tell that the truck does handle better. It's a lot more comfortable to tow it going down the road. But on that note, thank you guys for watching this video. Just wanted to do a quick video on this because I was thinking about it when we were driving. And I do want to do a follow-up video on my Aisin transmission. I recently got it serviced, and I want to discuss that in a later video. So I want to go over how much it cost, and I also want to discuss, you know, how it's been handling and how it's been responding to that change. So be sure to be on the lookout. And what I'll do is I'll answer some questions you guys have had about 68 RFE or Aisin. I still get that question, so I want to discuss that too, because the maintenance on the Aisin is a little bit more expensive compared, so I want to discuss that. So again, thank you for watching this video. Hope it was helpful. See you in the next video.